Sorry, my mistake.
चलो
Sorry. Thank you, Shumangla.
okay, now chapter 11 से record होगा चलिए.
Chapter 11, World as It Is. Nature programs the child to do two things from ages 1 to 7: structure a knowledge of the world exactly as it is on the one hand, and play with that world in a ways that it is not on the other hand.
Shivangla, slow down.
In this chapter, I will discuss the work of structuring play it discussed in chapter 15. Structuring a knowledge of the world takes at least 6 years because the world is filled with many things and its processes and principles are strict. The child is programmed to interact with the actual world, a place of rocks, trees, grass, bugs, sun, moon, wind, clouds, rain, snow, and a million things. A world that runs on principles where cause and effect balance, where fall down, go boom means skinned knees, where fire burns and hot means don't touch.
So now this is the place where in the Gateway Voyage, one of the things that Robert Monroe talks about is responsibility. Learning to take responsibility for your actions and yourself. So this is the time when the child will start learning that if I do this action, this is the result. So the child becomes responsible for its actions. This is again a very powerful learning period.
The world is a practical place, and nature provides the child with a very practical intelligence, his or her ability to interact through the five senses and body movements. Nothing more is needed. Concepts are very much the issue of intelligence in childhood and throughout our lives. New patterns for sensory organization and bodily action form in the child's brain only as she or he interacts with the world through the body. Throughout childhood, a full dimensional and accurate concept is an internalization of an external act. All
Shivangla.
children tend to stare vacantly for long periods. Burton White finds that the brightest children are those who are allowed to stare without interruption. Staring may roughen visual concepts as empty categories in the brain to be filled in later by full sensory interaction.
So
Many
again, this is the part where you will find that children start daydreaming. So they're just staring out into space, not doing anything. And most of the teachers don't understand that the child is going into a very deep state of consciousness and important learning is taking place at that time. They keep bugging the child that what are you doing? You're daydreaming, you're daydreaming.
Staring may roughen visual concepts as empty categories in the brain to be filled in later by full sensory interaction. Many of the patterns in the brain cannot be
Shivangla,
more Many of the
slow
patterns
down.
in the brain cannot be more than one or two dimensional concepts, for example, as patterns for visual organization to which other senses do not apply. However, an accurate knowledge of the world depends on
Shivangla, please slow down.
However, an accurate knowledge of the world depends on full dimensional concepts structured from a cross indexing of all the senses appropriate. One and two dimensional concepts cannot be interrelated by regulatory feedback to form the critical mass necessary to shift matrix from mother to
So,
earth.
so a lot of concepts need to build on each other to be able to create a proper concept of a particular thing. For example, if the child picks up an orange, he has to smell the orange, he has to press the orange, he has to taste the orange, he has to throw the orange. Okay, he has to do all sorts of things with the orange to be able to build up a total concept of what an orange is.
It took many months for the infant to form enough full sensory patterns relating to mother to give the critical mass and logical shift of face, constancy, and the formation of mother as matrix. It took a certain critical mass of tangible sensory motor interactions with real things for the shift of logic to object constancy, ushering in the formation of mother as matrix.
She's lost it. Can you all hear? One second, I'll get her to log in and log out.